Hey everyone, it's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United. For fuck's sake! We've just lost to Barcelona in the UCL at home, man! At home, man! This was the opportunity here. But we've just lost to Barcelona in the Champions League. 1-0, it's finished. It goes down as a Luke Shaw OG. Obviously it wasn't, it was just from a good bit of Barcelona play. Holy shit! Are we some way behind? I'm telling you, we are a considerable distance behind the best clubs in Europe. Tonight just highlighted that even more so. But it's no surprise. It's no surprise. Look at where we were. Look at the horrible turmoil we have been in over the last couple of seasons, really. So it's no surprise. I'm just excited that we're actually even there. We're actually even in this round of the competition playing Barcelona. That's honestly how I feel. But it comes down to this at the end of the day, right? It comes down to this. Ole Gunnar's done a fantastic job, okay? In such a short space of time. A tremendous job. Let's not discredit the job that he's done just because we have had 4 defeats out of 5 or whatever it is. Doesn't stop the fact that he has done an incredible job since coming in. But we just don't have the players, man. We just don't have the bloody players, man. Okay? That's what it comes down to. I know Barca play this lovely Barcelona style of play or whatever. But come on. I mean, you know, we've got to be doing better when we've got the ball. We've got to be doing better in possession. We've got to be playing more intense, higher tempo from the off. We were better in the second half, but first half we just bent over. We were scared of Barca, man, and they Barcelona'd us. We allowed them to Barcelona us. You don't play Barcelona like that. If you want to get the better of Barcelona, you've got to play high. You've got to play, you know, really high tempo. You've got to be very swift when it comes to counter-attacking because you're not going to have all the possession. You're not going to have... I mean, I think we finished that game with about 30% possession, man. At Old Trafford, it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace is what it is. Because United, whoever we're playing, we should be able to keep hold of the ball when we get it. We should be capable of, you know, getting the ball off the opposition. We've got world-class players in our squad. Hang on a second. Don't we have World Cup winner Paul Pogba in the centre of the park? Turns out he's pretty bang average, doesn't it? Look, he went on an incredible run, basically just to say piss off Jose Mourinho. And now Jose's gone. You know, now Ollie's got the permanent job. He doesn't have anybody to piss off anymore. So he's just gone back to being a mediocre shitter of a player. That's sort of how I feel about it. I mean, I don't just want to jump on him. But come on, that's 5 games or 4 games in a row from Paul Pogba now where I've not been blown away. It's not just him. I'm talking about Chris Smalling. I'm talking about Luke Shaw. I'm talking about, you know, the back line today did an okay job and we only conceded 1 goal. But sorry, all over the frickin' place, man. Fouls galore, just dangerous, just error-prone. Very disappointing from Manchester United today, I have to say that. But look at the difference in class out there. They've outclassed us today. They totally bullied us, they outpossessed us, they outplayed us, they outcreated us. We didn't have a shot on target in the whole game. Anybody saying I'm overreacting with this one? We didn't have a shot on target, man, or even a shot, I don't think, in this whole game against Barcelona tonight. So the players, they've got to hang their heads in shame. I'm sorry. Listen, it's not a bad result on the grand scheme of things. It's obviously half-time in the tie. We've still got to go over to the new camp. Very tough, but we've been great away from home. It's our home form that has been absolutely gash-tastic recently. Away from home is where all of our success has come. It's where we've been consistent. It's where we've been playing lots of, getting the results. And, you know, if I look at it on the face of it, United didn't really play that badly today. I know I'm just butchering them, but you are coming up against a team like Barcelona with the best player in the world, Lionel Messi, in, who we did a good job of nullifying to a degree. Then you've got players like Suarez, you know, Rakitic, all world-class talent throughout their entire side. They have got world-class players throughout the entire squad, really. United, on the other hand, we don't. We've got some bloke called Mike Smalling at the back there. We've got Paul Pogba, World Cup winner, you wouldn't know it. You know, we are lacking in certain areas, but this just goes to show you that although we are quite far away from Barcelona, we still are able to sort of compete with them. We're not that far off. We are in need of a couple of quality signings. If Ole Gunnar can work some wonders in the transfer window, we're not that far away from really having a starting 11 capable of challenging these top quality players. But when you look at the experience out there and you look at the experience in our side, players like McTominay, players like Dalot, you know, we can't compete with them in terms of experience. They're just a much more seasoned Champions League side than us. Whereas we've got players who freaking the only seasoning they've got is on their fried fucking chicken. Okay? So anyway, I'm pretty pissed off, lads. I'm really tense. I feel angry after that game. And I know we didn't play that badly. I know people are going to be butchering me right now. But I just feel disappointed with the fact that we were at home. We could have created something. We barely created anything, you know, come on. We're at Old Trafford. I don't care who we're playing against. I want to see more intensity. I want to see... You've got to get at them. You've got to get forward. You've got to get numbers into the box. You've got to get balls into the box. You know, we were just lacking in all departments tonight, really. But again, we are lucky that we didn't come up against a great Barcelona side. And what I mean by that is a Barcelona side who are really at the peak of their powers. One from 5 years ago, for instance. Or the last time. Remember when Alex Ferguson, we played them in the Champions League final. And Wayne Rooney obviously got the equaliser before half-time. But ultimately, we lost that game 3-1. And we got completely outclassed. I remember it. We got completely outclassed. And that was a good Manchester United side. That was a great Manchester United side. So Barcelona, that generation with Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, all those guys, and to me, it's probably the greatest team that's ever really played because they were so dominant. They made United look bang average in that Champions League final. But again, they did it today. And Barcelona are not the Barcelona of that period of time. They are a different Barcelona. They are a weaker Barcelona. And the fact that they were able to toy with us, they were able to outpossess us, outclass us, dominate us in every field of play at Old Trafford, just goes to show you that United seriously are not quite up to it right now. But like I say, with a bit of time, with a bit of money, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer works his magic in the summer. Who knows what we can achieve next season? This was all about steadying the ship, was all about getting us in the right direction. He's done that. He did that. He took over from that shite bag. He's turned us around. He got us improving in the Premier League. But now, it's got to the point now where we can't just nosedive off a cliff. You know, I know we've had tough games, but 4 defeats out of 5, we've got to get back on the right track now. In the away leg at the new camp, let's just go there and attack the shite out of them. I know it's difficult. I know you're going to run yourselves ragged when they've got all the possession. It's difficult. It's easy when you've got the possession. You're not expelling half as much energy. Us chasing the game like we have to at times, you know, it is difficult, but we're going to have to do that. We're going to have to, when we get the ball back, we're going to have to hit them and hurt them swiftly on the counter-attack. And I thought some players did perform well today. You know, Lukaku worked his socks off. Yeah, he didn't bang in a goal, but he worked his socks off. There was some good performance defensively. I know we were saying we looked ropey and stuff, but really we did only concede 1 goal in the end of the day. And against Barcelona, with that much possession and those many chances created, we just didn't have anything for them, did we? We didn't have anything going forward. Paul Pogba couldn't get on the ball. I mean, to be fair, I'm saying that he had a bad game, but he didn't get on the ball, man. The players were just starved of the ball throughout the entire game, and that's what Barcelona will do to you. But what you have to do to Barcelona in order to counteract that is what Robben and Ribéry and all those guys did for Bayern Munich when they ripped them apart in the Champions League. 5-2 or whatever it was all those years ago, which has hit them freaking hard on the counter, swiftly with pace down the wings, flood balls in there, flood balls near the box, get runners in behind, swift counter-attack, keep it tight, and as soon as you've got possession back, you've got to hit them. Which we just didn't do tonight. We didn't do it tonight. So fair play to Barcelona. I want to say they are a really good side. They deserve to win the game tonight. I can't pretend like we were robbed or anything. I can't complain about it. Barcelona outplayed us. They've got a great side. They showed why they are one of the best teams around. They've done it again. United, we are a considerable distance behind with a bit of quality added in the summer. Who knows what we can go on and do. Oh! It's so annoying though, it really is. Any headphone listeners, I apologise, okay? Right, I'm going to go back and read a whole bunch of your comments. To everybody who's tuning into the live stream right now, do us a favour, smash us a little cheeky like on this video. Go on, just hit that thumbs up button. It's not going to freaking kill you, is it? Right, guys, thank you to everybody who takes the time to send in these comments. Let's read them. Let's see what you guys thought about that performance. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? If you do, please let me know. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong here. Football's a game of opinions, of course. Ryan Red Devil comments and says, mountains are there to be climbed. Very true. I mean, nobody thought we would go to PSG and overcome that deficit, but we did. So stranger things have happened in football. Nobody thought that in the 89th minute of the 99 Champions League final against Bayern Munich, we would come back and win that game 2-1 in normal time, but we did. Stranger things have happened in football. So let me tell you this. The new camp, probably my least favourite place for us to go right now. You know, apart from the fact that we did actually win the Champions League final in 99 there. Other than that, It's just such a tough place to go because they are a great team. They do possess you off the park. And if there's any park they're going to possess you off, it is the park at the Nou Camp because obviously that is their home. It's a big, wide open space. They are going to enjoy that. United, we're going to have to harry them. We're going to have to close them down rapidly. We are going to have to make it count on the counter. So it's going to be a very difficult game for us. But like you say, Ryan, nobody thought we could overcome PSG in that second leg, but we did. I think it almost plays in our favour, the fact that this second leg is away from home. Ordinarily, it wouldn't be the case, would it? You'd want to take whatever result you had back to Old Trafford, for instance, and see the game out there. But on this instance, we've not been great at home. All of our form, all of our quality has come on the road, really. So in that regard, it's actually not a bad draw for us. It's sort of, there's nothing to lose in this scenario now. What do you lose? We get knocked out of the cup. We are expected to anyway. We shouldn't even really be in this round of the tournament anyway. So what do we have to lose? Nothing. Let's go there. Let's make a real go of it. Let's try and get, Pogba on the ball. Let's hope he's up for it and having a good game. Because if he is up for it, if you do get him on the ball, he can influence the game. He couldn't really influence the game tonight, whether or not, I know he didn't really set the world alight when he got it. But still, we've got to win that ball back. We've got to make our possession count. We didn't do that at all tonight. Richard James, how are you doing, Richard? He comments, still ought to play for Joe. Thank you for your comment, Richard. You make a good point. Here's me running a rave. It's only bloody half-time. It's half-time in the tie. Okay, we're 1-0 down to Barcelona. It's not the end of the world, is it? Let's be honest now. Okay, we did get dominated. Okay, it wasn't a great performance by Manchester United. We didn't have a shot on target. There's some negatives, of course. 4 defeats out of 5, whatever. But we've got to put that behind us. We've got to believe that we still can go there and overcome the odds that are beating Barcelona, because I believe that we can. Stranger things have happened. We can do it. Like you say, there's still all to play for, and there really is. United could go there. We could do a smashing grab. We could get a couple of goals. Fact is, if we go there, get an away goal and take it to extra time, win on penalties, do what Chelsea did, for instance, defend like Lions, whatever, we can still progress through into the next round. Big Man Joe comments and says, but Pig, we weren't outclassed. Come on. You don't think we were outclassed? I mean, I personally thought we were outclassed. I'll be honest, considering they've come to Old Trafford. We could barely get the ball back. I mean, second half we were better, of course. We did make our possession count a bit more in the second half. But we didn't have a shot on target all game long, pal. United didn't have a shot on target. You can't say that was a good performance by Manchester United. In terms of possession, we got completely dominated. I know possession doesn't win games, but you do need a fair bit of possession when you come up against a side like Barcelona. And not only that, when you've got it, you've got to make it count. I think it finished 70% possession to Barcelona. Now, that is pretty much unheard of for a team to come to Old Trafford and do that. I think maybe the last one was City when they battered us again. So it's very annoying. It is, but I'm open to saying that I think we're outclassed tonight. I think they just showed that extra quality. I don't really see it as it being anybody's fault here. I'm not blaming Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm not blaming the coaching staff. I'm not blaming the formation. I'm not blaming the selection. What I'm blaming is the fact that they've got way better players than us. They've got the best player in the world, Messi. They've got Suarez, one of the best strikers in the world. They've got some of the best players in the world in their side, whereas United, yeah, sure, we've got some great players. Like I say, World Cup winner Pogba's in there. Lukaku, £80 million player, supposedly. We've got all these players, we do. But then we have got weaknesses. We've got inexperience. And experience counts for a heck of a lot in the Champions League. It really does, especially at this stage when you've got Barcelona players who've been there, done that, been through the ringer. They've done it 100 times almost. Well, not 100 times, but they've done it a shitload of times. We've got lads like McTominay who, fair play to him, did a decent performance from the young lad. Dallo. There's lads like this and Smalling, with the task of keeping these world-class attackers in check. It's very difficult. So I'm not going to say really that it's anybody's fault. I just think that we're slightly inferior to Barcelona at the moment. So in that sense, I think they outclassed us. That's my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it. Obviously, you don't think that. James Mosscrop comments and says, McTominay was good. Yeah, McTominay, he's impressed me of late. Very happy with the way he's coming on. He does look like he could be a potential United player. But right now, Champions League, it's a bit early on for him, but he did have a good performance. Richard comments, Young is proper gash. That's another, you see what I mean? They've got, Rakitic or, we've got Ashley Young. You see what I mean? AKA Ashley Clunge. James Mosscrop, final third needs to be better. You're telling me, James. Like I say, I don't think we had a shot throughout the entire bloody game. It was a disgrace. Phil Jones comments and says, great game, Pig. Great game, Philip. Thank you very much for your comment. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a great game. Burnsy comments and says, we were not outclassed. Reece Proctor, good pressing from us. Final third needs to be improved drastically. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what game you guys were watching, but I just saw them out-possessing us, out-passing us off the pitch a lot of the time. Yes, we did a good job of staying organised and tight at the back there and making it difficult for them, but we're at home. Let's not forget this. We're at home. Did we have a shot? No! Ha! We're Manchester United at home. Come on. And you don't say you say we didn't get outclassed. I mean, they've nullified us to the point where we couldn't even think about scoring a goal because we can't have a bloody shot. So if that's not outclassing, I don't know what is. Let's just outpossess them off the pitch so they can't even have a shot on goal. That's outclassing someone, isn't it? You know, in terms of, were we in the game? Was it a game? Yes, absolutely, we were in the game. It was only 1-0. Anything could have happened. You know, Rashford had a good opportunity at one point, spurned. But other than that, I am scratching my head to think of a really good opportunity that Manchester United had throughout that game. Subhajit Badra comments and says, need a away goal in the new camp, at least 2. Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, that's the thing. If we go to the new camp, we get an early goal, it will give us that belief that we could go on and do it. Obviously, it doesn't stop the fact that if Barcelona score, which they probably will, they've come to Old Trafford and scored against us and been really useful and looked dangerous with their possession and created a fair bit. But it's going to be very difficult for us to go there and get 2 away goals. But the fact is, if we do, that's what we've got to go and do. That's the order of the day. When we go to the new camp, go there, score 2 goals, because it doesn't matter if Barcelona score 1 goal. Obviously, we would still progress on the away goals rule. So that is quite important to go there and just get as many goals as we can, free-flowing, goal scoring, and like you say. But it's going to be very difficult to do that. We couldn't do it at Old Trafford. So I don't know why we think we can do it at the new camp, where they should be more comfortable, where it's a real wide open playing surface for them, where they can exploit the space even more so than at Old Trafford maybe. Obviously, we do have the same sort of style of pitch, big open pitch. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for United. It is. I'd like to see certain performers out there step up for the away game. I'm looking at you, Paul Pogba. I know it's difficult when you're not having that much influence on the game because we're just being outpossessed. But we've got to make it count. We've got to hit them on the counter. We've got to get a player like Paul Pogba on the ball. He's got to pick his head up. We've got to have a player like Marcus Rashford making a killer run. Paul Pogba's got to play a killer pass. Rashford's got to play a killer finish into the back of the net. It all has to come together, you know. Whereas Barcelona, they play a very different style of football. They will chip away at you. They will keep hold of the ball. They will frustrate you. They will be very, very patient. They will work their chances. You know, they play a similar sort of way, obviously, to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, except even more slow and even more patient. That's basically the way I would sum it up. Madison Beaton comments and says, we need to win this or we have no trophies this year. Thank you for your comment, Madison. Yeah, I mean, it is our last chance for a trophy. I mean, I'm sort of resigned. I don't want to be that pessimist who just writes the side off straight away, but I'm resigned to the fact we're not getting any silverware this year. The silverware for us this year was getting rid of that frickin' Portuguese goblin Jose. The silverware for us was getting the baby-faced assassin in, resurrecting Manchester United, getting that belief back to United, getting that winning mentality back to United, which up until a few games ago we had definitely shown. And we've had tough fixtures recently, and not everything can go your way. It was going to come to a halt at some point. It had to end at some point. You can't keep that sort of a run going. Now it's about how we react. Can we go to the new camp and cause an upset? Everybody wrote us off for the PSG second leg. Absolutely everybody. But we went there and we did it. By hook or by crook, wherever we think that VAR decision, luck, whatever, we did it. So we could go to the new camp and we could get the result. We are still bang in this game. It is 1-0 at half-time. It's 1-0 at half-time in this Champions League time. We could definitely do something. So I'm not worried about the second leg because, like I say, it's not a disgrace to go out to Barcelona. It's certainly not a disgrace to go out considering where we were a short few months ago when Ole Gunnar took over. And it's no disgrace to go out to a team with such experience, such quality in there compared to the certain players that are lacking in our squad. It's a difficult task to go and beat Barcelona over 2 legs, but we could absolutely do it. Lily Fumer comments and says, Barcelona fan here, you played well, see you at the Camp Nou, thank you very much, so did you. Barcelona, they are some sort of a team, aren't they? Fantastic, formidable, the way they keep hold of the ball. And like I say, this isn't even like one of the absolute stellar Barcelona sides of previous generations. This is a good Barcelona side, but it's nothing to write home about. Let's be honest now. The one with Xavi and Iniesta in, that was definitive. This one, it's still very good. They've got quality, Suarez, unbelievable. Absolutely hate him, but he's probably the best striker in the world. He really is, out-and-out striker. If you're taking Ronaldo out of it and all these, he's probably the best out-and-out striker in the world. So they've got an incredible squad. Lionel Messi, the Messiah himself. They're an incredible team, and they play it in an incredible way as well, which is this patient game, this patient possession style, where they are going to chip away at you and just try and break you down without giving the ball away. They barely give the ball away, Barcelona. They barely take, Manchester United and a lot of English teams, we do play a lot more risky through balls, especially in the final third. We absolutely do. And that does relinquish possession a lot of the time. And you cannot do that against a team like Barcelona because they're not going to do that to the same degree. They're going to keep on of it. They're not afraid to work it back inside and work it back outside and work it back inside again and just wait for that opportunity. That's what they're one of the best at doing. So to me, Barcelona, even if right now they're not in the best time that there has been, they're still one of the very best teams in the world. So thank you very much for your comment there. Appreciate it. Good game. Alex Rudd, how's it going? My moderator in the house. Appreciate you stopping by here and keeping control of all the racist bigots. Alex Rudd, Barca was always going to have the lion's share of possession. Yeah, very true, Alex. I mean, they are just probably the best team in the world at keeping hold of the ball. They've got incredible midfield when you look at it. And even players like Arthur, who I've not seen a whole bunch of, really impressed me with the way that they go about it. So I think they were always going to outpossess us. They're probably going to outpossess us even more in the second leg. But we've got to do, like I say, what that Bayern Munich side did to them a few years back when they cut them open and scored 5-6 goals against them in that tie, which is you've got to use your pace up top there. You've got to make it count when you get the ball back because you're not going to see a lot of the ball really, especially at the Nou Camp. When you do get it, you've got to be very direct. You've got to be very precise. We've got to have runners in behind. We can use our pace. We've got pacey players for days, but we need a quarterback type player. We need somebody who's going to thread those balls through, who's going to ping players and get play moving up the pitch for us. And today we didn't have that really. Pogba just wasn't at it today. So there you go. Our King's comments, someone please break Young's legs. A lot of hatred for Ashley Young. I mean, recently he has been looking pretty gash-tastic, I'll be honest. I always stick up for Ashley Young because I've got those fond memories of him scoring those absolutely 2 worldies in that 8-2 drubbing of Arsenal and always being a servant for us. And he was always a good player for Villa before United signed him back in the day in the Premier League. He's a good player, but he's not a great player. He's never been a great player. But he is a good player. He's a good squad player to have. Should he be starting in the Champions League against Barcelona in the quarters? No! No, absolutely not. But he is. He's just not quite that level of a player, in my opinion. So, and you obviously agree too, seeing as you want to break his legs, seems a bit extreme. But I understand where you're coming from. He's just not up to it, man. Absolutely. Keep him in the squad. Absolutely. Play him against West Brom. Play him against York City in the Carling Cup. Whatever. Do not start him against Barcelona. But that's what we've got at the moment. So I'm not blaming Ole Gunnar for starting him. What I'm saying is we don't have anybody better at the moment. We are lacking in certain areas. We do need to improve them. Ashley Young's one of those lads that I personally would say, see you later on next season and try and bring somebody in. Only really because of his aging, and the fact that he's going to have a more and more limited role within the squad. But he is quite useful. He's versatile. He can play all across the pitch, really. You can play him right back, left back. He plays all over. Wings, he's quite useful to have, but he's only a good player. He's not a great player. United needs some great players coming in and a couple of good players going out to improve us and make us greater. That's how it works. That's the formula for success. Improvement, constant improvement. If we've got 10 5 out of 5 players and only one 4 out of 5 player in the side, then we need to bring in a 5 out of 5 player to improve the 4 out of 5. Problem is, United have got like 3 out of 5 players in about 5 positions. So we do have some improving to do. Ashley Young's one of those players I wouldn't mind if we moved him on the summer. Though he had a contract extension. Don't think that's going to happen. Other players like Smalling, Players like Jones, it wouldn't bother me if they went and did one in the summer either, but I don't think that's going to happen. But again, useful squad players. There's a lot of games, a lot of different competitions. You can't be playing Barcelona every single week. We need players to come in and play Barcelona. And when we do play them, we also need players to deputise. We also need players to cover. We also need players to go away from home against Watford or whoever it may be and play in certain games where we need to allow somebody a rest or somebody's picked up a knock, whatever it may be. Alex Rincon in the house. How's it going, Alex Rincon, with a super chat? Thank you for stopping by and airing your thoughts live on the stream here, Alex. He comments and says, I actually don't think we weren't bad. That's like an oxymoron double freaking negative you just said there. I actually don't think we weren't bad. Okay. So you do think we were bad then? I'm just joshing you, mate. I understand what you mean. So you said, what you actually mean is I actually don't think we were bad. I'm guessing that's what you meant. He says, our only mistake cost us the game. We were the better team for large chunks, all to play for in the second half. Fair play to you, Alex. I mean, I don't think we were the better team for large portions of that game. Certainly in the second half, we came on. We did start to play a bit better. We did play quicker. That's a key to beating Barcelona. That's a key to utilising our strengths. We moved the ball around a lot quicker second half. Certainly parts of the game, I think Manchester United gave a good account of ourselves. But overall, I mean, I just think that they did dominate play. They came to Old Trafford, they stopped us from shooting, basically, and they basically had free reign. They'll be so happy with this result. 1-0, away goal, away from home at Old Trafford. It still leaves us within the tie, but I was hoping to see a bit more from us. I was a little bit disappointed. Thank you so much, though, for your comment there, Alex Rincon. That's the thing with football. It's a game of opinions. You may think that we put in a good account of ourselves. Don't get me wrong, we played okay. But I was just hoping to see a little bit more. We've got a comment here from Oh My God, We Rock Hard, who comments and says, I was scared we were going to lose 4-5, so I'm not that unhappy with the match. Fair play. That's a very good point going in. I was giving it the big un or optimistic. We're going to batter Barca, but realistically, I thought, crikey, I had the same thought as you. I hope we do not get battered here. I hope we don't get embarrassed. So from that point of view, it's quite successful. We gave a good account of ourselves. We were in the game. Absolutely, we were in the game. So it's not like they totally bullied us and totally battered us, really, because the game's finished 1-0. James Arnold in the house. How's it going, James, with a super chat? Thank you for your comment here. He comments and says, we lack quality. Give Ollie 300 million. Yeah, that's what it's going to require, my friend. That's what it's going to take, I'm afraid. We are going to have to open up the checkbook. We are going to have to assess the positions in the team which are just not up to it. I'm looking at you, centre-back. I'm looking at you, right wing. I'm looking at lots of areas in the team that we can absolutely do with improving. The problem is this summer's going to be very, very interesting for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, because imagine if we don't get Champions League football. There's certain players come to the end of their contract. There's all this talk about Ander Herrera leaving on a free at the end of the season. That's one position that we don't have to obviously fill. David De Gea, there's always talk every single summer about him going over to Spain. For good reason. He's always lighting it up in the Premier League. I heard their opinion of him over there is not quite as high as ours, but we see him week in, week out. We see what he does. We saw what he did in a very poor United side over the last couple of years, winning us games on his own, winning points on his own. The guy's an absolute match winner. But would he want to stay at United another year when he can go and play for one of the elite teams in world football? And have a good chance at winning things, maybe make more money, maybe be in the country that he grew up in, his home country. You can't deny that as a draw when it comes to a decision in a footballer's career. Now, United are going to have to strengthen because we may lose a couple of quality players. Imagine losing David De Gea. Yes, we've got a great, player, Sergio Romero, to come in and deputise, but still, I mean, come on. He's not one of the very best players in the world. David De Gea is. David De Gea is going to win you games on his own sometimes with his quality, with his unbelievable world-class shot stopping, and he's impossible to replace. So if you lose a player like that, you've got to improve some other area of the team significantly in order to make that up. Whether or not we can do that, I do not know. iPoddy24, to put it frankly, but honestly, I've got a discoloured penis. Is this normal? It depends what you've been doing it with it, pal, okay? Now, I don't want to know any more information, but I'm going to be honest with you. I started reading your comment out loud before I'd actually processed it in my mind, and now I'm absolutely regretting doing that. But thank you very much for your comment there. I hope you I hope you have luck with your discolored penis. Hopefully it's not a permanent thing and you can just go and have a wash, mate. So it sounds like you've got some sort of issues there. Jay Robinson comments, "Hey pig, still in it. Could have been worse." Absolutely, man. Very, very well said. I've calmed down a little bit now. It's 1-0 at half-time against Barca, one of the best teams in Europe, after we've had a pretty crazy season with Ole Gunnar coming in, lots of transition, lots of change, lots of turmoil, lots of controversy. It's all happened at Manchester United this season. It's been one crazy season as a Manchester United supporter. So the fact that we are going to the new camp, the fact that we are still in this tie, and we could go there and get an away goal and nick it on penalties, or go there, score a couple of goals, make it really tricky for Barcelona. We are still in this tie. So you're absolutely right, Jay. Very good point. We are still in it. Right, let me scroll down a little bit and see some more comments coming through here from you bunch of legends. Obviously, I'm just stuck at the top here. Let's get down to some more relevant ones. Oh, and it's Gungshi in the house with a super chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, Gungshi, with your thoughts. He comments and says, "Our squad badly needs more quality. We're not going to score much if we can't create chances. We aren't clinical enough, and unfortunately, too many of our players simply aren't good enough. We need high-quality signings." I couldn't echo that any more, Gungshi. I totally agree. I just think that we are lacking in certain departments. Barcelona outclass us in a very good few positions. Not to the fact that they've just got somebody like Messi and somebody like Suarez, who are some of the best players in the world in their own positions, but they just outclass us in too many positions out there on the pitch. If we're playing top trumps, they're battering us every time. What can we do? We have to hope for an upset, but we are still in this tie. But I agree with you. We didn't create enough tonight. When we did create something, we didn't have that cutting edge. We didn't show that clinical quality to be able to stick it in the back of the net. And at this level, when you do get those chances against the Barcelona side, you have to take them. You have to stick it in the back of the net. We couldn't do that. So I do think we need to work on a lot of things. We do need to work on the approach to the game, because we didn't start the game well today, I don't think. We just allowed Barca right onto us really early, and that's where they got the goal from an error basically early on. Disappointing, it really was. But at least it didn't continue. At least they didn't get more goals. At least we are actually still in this time. But I totally agree with you, Gungshi. When the summer comes, when the window opens, this United board need to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I don't care if we lose every game between now and the end of the season. I don't. He still absolutely should be starting the season next year as Manchester United manager, and should still be given the money to invest. Because that is how you measure a manager. Not by coming in and taking over Jose's merry band of melters and trying to bring stability back to the side. No, it's about what you can do from a fresh start, fresh season with a bit of money as well. Every other bastard in the Premier League, Pep Guardiola and Sarri and all these guys, they're going to have shitloads of money to spend. So we absolutely need to try and compete with them and improve where the positions that we are lacking, because we are lacking in some serious key areas. We need to bring quality in. We need to bring in proven experience. Of course, I want United to remain that club that brings youth through, that bloods youngsters, that gives opportunity to young players and creates the next generation of legends at United, of homegrown talents like the class of 92 or whatever. But right now we do need some quality, some experience, because when you come up against a side like Barca with experience in spades, we are a considerable way behind. You can see that tonight by how comfortable it was for them. Thank you so much for stopping by with your super chat there, Gungs. You're an absolute legend as usual. Hope you're doing well over there. Everybody who takes the time to send in these super chats, thanks so much for doing it. Jay comments and says, agree, clear out needed so much. Alf Delling Skill says, I feel sorry for Herrera. Why do you feel sorry for Herrera, pal? What's going on there, Apparently he's just not quite happy with the offer that's been made. I'm confused about what's been going on there. But Herrera, to me, is a good player to have around. I like his character. I like the way he battles. I do like everything about Ander Herrera. It would be a shame if he left Manchester United. I'd like to see him stay. But at the same time, hand on heart, I cannot say Ander Herrera is one of the best players in the world. I cannot say he's one of the best players at doing what he does in the world. What we need is one of the best players in the world in midfield there. And he's not. And don't get me wrong, I've loved the way he plays. I think he's been great for us this season. But come on, he's not one of the best players in the world, and that's something that Manchester United need right now. But don't get me wrong, I love Ander Herrera. Jeffrey Mwenda says McTominay the best player in that match. Young is trash. He should be in the Championship or on the bench. McTominay, lad. Very, very impressed with the way he's come on. Like you say, he's one of the most inexperienced players out there, yet you wouldn't know it. Other players like Young, one of the most experienced players out there, looking second best. So I totally agree. McTominay, good game from him. Viking Red, hi, how's it going to you? Shout out to you. let me just talk about quickly the other fixture of the night, which of course Ajax versus Juventus. Really interesting, that one. Didn't get to see it, obviously. But 1-1, that one's finished. Quite interesting. Of course, Spurs beat City 1-0 in their first leg as well. Interesting result there. Huge result. But yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. From what I've heard, it sounds like Ajax absolutely battered Juventus, and Juventus just have Cristiano Ronaldo. That's basically what happened. He's that good. The only opportunity they got, he sticks in the back of the net with a flying header. The guy's a beast. So you've always got to watch out for a side like Juventus in this competition with a player like Cristiano in it. In terms of favourites for this competition, I mean, I can't look much further than Barca. I think they are a very great side. I don't think if Spurs do progress through the next round, they're going to go on to win it. They're just an ultimate bottle club. I still think City will go on progress in that tie anyway. Juventus have got a great shout, not because they're a great team, but they've got great players in that team. They have Cristiano Ronaldo, and that is the X factor that sometimes you need. Oh. Right, guys, I can't believe how much I've been talking here, lads. It's 35 minutes on the clock. Crikey. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat here. Thanks to everybody, each and every one of you who takes the time to send these comments in, who tunes into these live streams after games. That's the reason I do these videos. It's because of you guys. So keep coming back here. Keep giving your thoughts and opinions. I'll keep sharing mine. You've done a good job to helping me chill out tonight, because I was pissed off at the start of this video. I really was. Just by the feeling of disappointment I had, in sense of I wanted to see us create a bit more and go for it tonight. Barca did dominate us at times. Yes, we did do better second half. We are still in this tie. It's only half time. We're only 1-0 down. We're better away from home. We are going away from home at the Nou Camp. Who knows what can happen? Stranger things have happened. You've got to be in it to win it. And we are certainly still in it. Right, guys, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up there. I'm just going to do a few shout-outs to everybody who's tuned in. Thanks so much for getting involved with this live stream, like I say. Shout-out to you, Shalath Bilajiri. Shout-out to Alkan Mahmood. Shout-out to Kent Nyquist. Shout-out to Lily Fumer. Shout-out to Nathan Phelps, Kyle Fury, another moderator in the house. Absolute legend. Thanks very much. You're right there. He comments and says, if City get knocked out, Liverpool will be the faves. Of course, Liverpool did a really good job against Porto, won the game 2-0. First half, dominant display, attacking. Second half, Porto did very well, came back into it, showed that they are a good side, but couldn't get the goals, the all-important goals. So Liverpool take a 2-0 lead in the second leg, expecting them to progress. I really am. I can see, based on the Porto performance, though, second half, that they will cause them problems over there in Portugal. And Liverpool may have to hang on. But I just can't see Liverpool not scoring. They may well concede a couple of goals over there, but I expect them to score a couple of goals as well. They're a very good attacking outfit with really talented players. So I totally agree with you there, Kyle. Thank you so much for stopping by. Viking Red says, love you, Pig. You're a legend. Thank you so much. You're a freaking legend too. Gungshi comes and says, any sign of Henry Pig? Let me give you a little update. He's coming back to the UK in about 3 weeks or something, for just a few days. Why even make the journey? That's what I'd like to say. He's coming over for a weekend, basically. He's coming over from fucking China to stay over for a few days. But there you go. It's better than no hen at all. So we will hopefully catch up with the hen when he comes back over here. And I'm going to give him a stone cold stunner for not doing any live streams, for not even bothering to try and keep up the Pig and the Hen show while he's been out there, giving it all this, I've got to work and time differences and family and all that. Bollocks! Anyway, shout out to the Music Fiend, shout out to Steve Johnson, everybody else, anybody else who I've not mentioned, thank you so much for tuning into this live stream. I'm going to wrap it up there, but if I've not replied to you, if I've not answered your question or read out your comment and aired your thoughts, you can do that after this video is finished. Go to the comment section, get your thoughts and opinions in so they stick around permanently. I'll respond to them when I can. And just want to say thanks to everybody. We are still in this tie. Manchester United, we can go to the Nou Camp. We've got to be optimistic. We've got to believe. Everybody ruled us out. Everybody said we were down and out in that PSG tie, but we came through and we proved them wrong. There's no reason we can't do that again. This is football. Crazy things can happen. Stranger things have happened. The Manchester United go in there and turn in Barcelona or whatever. So come on, lads. Believe United can do it. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Like, subscribe, comment. Follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Apologies to all headphone users out there. You're a bunch of legends. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Always a pleasure, never a chore. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Take it easy. Have yourselves a good one.